Hey guys, it is day 9 of Keto Together, and if we've made it to day 9, like we're almost done. Tomorrow's day 10, and I don't know if you guys have had fun, but I really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of work, I won't lie, keeping everything up on the website and the YouTube channel and in the group. But the best part is looking for those hashtag Keto Together where you guys have been sharing your meals, and I can see it already. It's just day 9, and you guys have been much more creative, much more enthusiastic about what you're sharing. And so it's like dinner has become like this creative endeavor rather than just like, oh, I gotta feed us one more time. So it's been fun to watch that, especially when people are just like pulling things out of the fridge and the pantry. That's been a lot of fun. So tonight is stir fry, and if you went to the website where I gave you ideas for stir fry, I gave some guidelines about how to create a stir fry, and I talked about really high heat. And the reason I did that was you generally cook your meat first. I'm gonna cheat just a little bit since we've been on this theme of canned meats. I'm going to use some canned pulled pork, and yes, that's a thing. I actually found this. It's got some nice fat in there. I actually found this at Dollar Tree when I was working on a different project, and I brought it home. And Grace kind of looked at it like, you're going to feed us canned pulled pork. And I was like, yeah, I am, because I want to create a recipe with this. And anyway, I made it, and it was so good. I made carnitas, and I'll show you how to do it. But it was so good that she actually said, Mom, I can do this. This is easy. Can you show me? And I'm like, this is so easy. So the hardest part of this, guys, is cutting up the vegetables and getting them in the skillet. I'm going to use some ghee. Normally I'd use bacon fat. I don't know why I wanted ghee tonight. I just did. And so I'm going with the ghee. So I'm going to tie, ooh, that's really high. I don't want it. Okay. My burner and I are not getting along. Okay, there we go, about medium heat. I want it about medium heat because I'm just gonna cook the vegetables. And like I said, I wanted kind of the buttery flavor that you get from ghee, and I wasn't shy with that. That may be as much as 2 tablespoons of ghee that I put in there. It's not an exact amount. And I'm gonna leave the spoon in there in case I need a little more later. And I also mentioned on the website when I talked about the guidelines for creating a stir fry, I mentioned using organic chicken stock. Or I'm sorry, not organic. I mentioned using chicken stock or wine. I probably need the wine. And I mentioned another liquid. I like rice vinegar or a little balsamic vinegar, but I decided to use chicken stock if I need it for this. So medium high heat, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my vegetables. So I decided I wanted to recreate those carnitas that Grace enjoyed because I thought you guys might enjoy them too. If you can't get your hands on pulled pork, I bet this would be equally tasty with chicken. I bet you could use poultry for this instead. I don't think it'd be very good with salmon or tuna or any of those other kinds of canned meat, but I think with chicken it would be fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to toss in some onion, and I had about a medium onion that I threw together. Now, let's talk a little bit about serving size, because this canned meat is 9.5 ounces, and it says it should be 4.5 servings. So I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like hoping that one can would feed David. So he's giving me the look. Is anybody there? I feel like I'm talking to myself. I can't see the comments. He's got the camera turned around so that you guys have a little better view. And Lance says hello. Hey Lance, are you going to make this? Hey Trisha, this is something that you should make for your family, Trisha.
Trisha does say she can't hear right now, but others are saying they can hear.
They can hear, okay. And Amy's having a progressive dinner virtually. I love that idea. That is so cool. I'd love to hear more about that, Amy. That's a neat idea. But anyway, I had about a half of a green bell pepper that was going on me, so I decided to use that. I pulled out my red bell pepper, but I don't want to put too much because, like I said, this is, I hope, 2 servings. This is, I hope, 2 servings. Realistically, it's probably closer to 3 for my family, and so I don't want to put too many veggie carbs in there. I also am going to add, for a little flavor, a little heat, I'm going to add a jalapeno. You know I love these. I've talked about this so often, that how one jalapeno can give you, just a lot of flavor, and it's 1 carb for the whole thing. Now, because the kids may eat this, I may not put a whole one. Jonathan, of course, Jonathan did really well. I made something spicy the other night, and he tried it. He's been awesome trying things, new things, and it was a little spicy, but he put some sour cream and cheese on it to cool it down, and I was really, really proud of my 13-year-old for doing that. So I'm putting on gloves now, not because I'm going out and I'm worried about the virus, I am putting on gloves because I'm going to chop this jalapeno, and I wear contacts. David says, hey, Lance, okay. I go out, I wear contacts, and I have more than once chopped a jalapeno at dinner and then gone to take my contacts out and been upset with myself. So I'm going to put these gloves on just to chop it. These gloves we keep on hand for this very purpose, and they're size medium, and David gets aggravated because they don't fit him so well. So I'm just pulling the seeds out. Now remember, you can toss the seeds in there, and you can toss in the white part, the membrane. But I try to get all the seeds out and the membrane because it gets, that's where a lot of the heat is. So if you don't love jalapenos, try it without the seeds and membranes, and that may help. So I'm just letting this all kind of sing around in there. I'm going to add the jalapeno, and then we'll add some seasonings. So you guys let me know what you're making. Are you doing Southwestern? Are you doing Asian? Because I honestly thought I would do Asian. And then as it got closer to 5 o'clock, I said, I want to do, instead of Asian, I want to do those yummy carnitas. So I'm just going to this is really about half. Okay, get that seed away from me. This is really about half of that jalapeno. So let me give it a little bit of a stir. And then let's talk about our seasonings. I hope you guys have been using the website. Let me know about that, really, in the comments. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. And it has been exhausting posting links all stinking week. And the mods have been great. Lissa has been wonderful. Crystal says she wears gloves too. And there are people watching from Virginia and from the Netherlands and from Florida and British Columbia and Singapore. Oh my goodness, Singapore. Is it like breakfast time there? But you can have this in Singapore. I bet that our viewer from Singapore could give me some tips about making, using some different spices. I would love that. I love that. My kids really do love kind of the Asian foods, and then they love the Mexican foods. They love Italian foods. My family just kind of likes to eat, y'all. But there aren't many flavors that they turn down. And Grace especially is great about trying new things. And so David is for the most part. Grace is a little more adventurous with me than David sometimes when it comes to trying foods. Okay, got the veggies in. Let's do the seasoning because it's going to take them a little bit. I'm going to slide that out of the way. And I'm going to I'm going to tell you guys what I've been up to. I've been in this kitchen for about 2 or 3 hours, and it's been it's a mess trying to get videos done for Diet Doctor, and I have to just tell you, it's been crazy. Go back over the ingredients, somebody says. Okay, so I just started with ghee. You can use bacon fat, coconut oil, whatever fat you prefer, but I threw some ghee in there, a lot of ghee in there, probably 2 tablespoons, but that isn't a recipe. I've got about a medium onion, maybe less than a whole medium onion in there. I just sliced it up, and notice I sliced it in kind of long pieces. Oh, that's bell pepper. And then I had maybe half a green bell pepper. I could put more pepper, but for this small amount of meat, I'm not going to do that. And so I've just got it simmering, and I put about half of a jalapeno, and I removed the seeds and the white membranes from the jalapeno because that's where the hot is. That's where the really spiciness is. And so I didn't want to make this overpoweringly hot. I do have an avocado. I have some shredded cheese. I have some sour cream. I even have salsa I bought to surprise David. So yeah, I think he's going to like this tonight. This dinner. Okay. This is cooking up. I don't want to cook them to oblivion. And actually, I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit. When you see kind of the water gathering in the pan, you probably got it too low. All right, so I'm gonna let that go, and I'm gonna kind of scorch them. I'm gonna not burn them, but I want to get a little darkness on there. So here's the garlic. David just stepped outside. We won't tell him. Okay, I'm just putting, that's 1/4 teaspoon, and I could use fresh garlic, but I don't have any, and I'm not going to the store. I'm using what's in my pantry, which is the whole purpose of our Keto Together. And I'm going to be out of the garlic powder if I don't. I'm going to have to hit Amazon for that. But garlic powder, I love it because it's shelf stable and you can use it. It's inexpensive, and fresh garlic will go bad on you. By the way, the other week when we did our grill packets, we put some fresh garlic in because it was going to go bad. We put fresh garlic in those packets, and that was so yummy. Grace and I only put like maybe 4 cloves, and we shared those. I think I put 4 cloves. Anyway, that's doing really well. So I put some garlic in there. Oh, I need to grab some salt. I did not grab my salt. I did grab chili pepper. Yeah, I was trying to reorganize a spice drawer the other night. I have 4 bottles of chili powder, 3 little ones like this, and 1 giant Sam's Club chili powder. My family likes chili powder. Here's the salt that magically appears. So, did y'all hear that? The skillet's kind of singing to me a little bit. I like a lot of chili powder, so I'm going to go big. I've got a full teaspoon, and I'm going to do that, and then we'll see how it looks and see if it needs a little more. Maybe just a half of this measure, which would be 1.5 teaspoons. Okay, so that's that. Smells so good. I love chili powder. Unfortunately, chili powder does have carbs, and so does garlic. All of my favorite ones have carbs, of course. This is the cumin, and this is the tablespoon. I don't want to put quite a tablespoon, so I'm going to go about half. And again, I can put another sprinkle in if I need to. Actually, I'm going to put another sprinkle, and I'm just eyeballing it. I want the cumin to be about equal with the chili powder, and so that's why when I say I'm eyeballing it, that's what I'm looking for. I'll give it a stir in just a bit, and we'll see what that looks like. And then I've got paprika, and I love paprika. And paprika, it doesn't have much of a flavor, but I'm going to put just shy of a tablespoon of that. So maybe about 2 teaspoons are going in there. So, do I hear the dogs? Kids, I hear kids. The dogs are wiped out. I wish you guys could see them. They have been outside, and Banjo especially just gets exhausted from being outside. Not Banjo, Winston. And they're in the corner, so they probably won't bark because they just look like they're passed out. David turned on the lights so we could do this video, and when Banjo kind of looked up at him like, it's a bright light. But they really sleep a lot if they spend a lot of time out there. And we had a beautiful day. How was the weather with you guys? We had a gorgeous day in North Carolina, and I've been in every day, every night. Several of you have asked about, I had told you I didn't do a Facebook Live last night. I was last minute because we had a sick family member. Everything is fine now. We had a little bit of it, well, not entirely fine, but we had a little bit of a scare. My sister-in-law had texted me in the afternoon. She and my brother live near my mom, and she had texted and said, did you talk to mom? And I was working. I was in a meeting, of course, and I'm texting her back, and I'm like, what's going on? I knew because she never asked me that. And I'm like, and so anyway, we started going through what was happening with her, and she had 5 or 6 of the symptoms of COVID-19. And so we did a 3-way call with her, and my mom lives about 2 hours away, and there was nothing I could do. I couldn't go there to be with her, and they had been trying to talk her into going to the hospital, get tested, and anyway, we did a 3-way call and really didn't give her much choice for going. So the good news, the very good news, is that we got the results already, and she does not have COVID-19. The bad news is that the things that were causing the symptoms are pointing at other things. So anyway, but I do appreciate your concerns, but they called me about 3. We were on the phone with her about 4. So she was being picked up around 4:30, and at that point I just said, I can't do a Facebook Live. I was a little worried about her, as you can imagine. And I said, I really can't do a Facebook Live, and I wanted to keep my phone clear because people were texting me. The folks who, my sister-in-law and my brother were texting. My mom actually started texting me from the hospital. And so I turned my phone off. I put it on Do Not Disturb while I'm doing videos, and I didn't want to not be able to monitor my phone for that time. So anyway, that's kind of what was going on, and then I didn't want to share until we knew more. But yeah, that's what was happening. Not an easy time. So this is drying out, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the chicken stock. And you can see I put maybe just a couple tablespoons, and those vegetables are going to simmer down. So if you're doing this and you can see it kind of drying out, you're smelling. I cook by smell a lot of times. And so if you can smell that the herbs or the spices rather, if you can smell that they're getting a little toasted, a little more like flavorful than you want, then add a little bit of that liquid. Like you can add water if you want to. I like using broth or wine or a little squirt of balsamic vinegar or something like that, depending on which flavors. But I thought the chicken broth would work well with this, even though this is pork. So our vegetables are starting to get tender. I'm going to toss this in here, and I'm actually, that spoon is so large, I'm going to use my ghee spoon to put this in here. Instead of a teaspoon, it's a ghee spoon, right? Okay. It's actually a tablespoon from the drawer. And then this one. So have you guys ever seen, any of you ever seen the pulled pork, the canned pulled pork at the Dollar General? I was really excited to see it, and it's about this is $2.25, which is not bad. That I've spent about $4.50. It's probably more expensive than if I had bought like usually the pork shoulder or something that I use. But anyway, all I need to do now is to make sure this kind of heats through and give it a good stir. And I think my dinner is almost done. So did anybody mention what they were eating, what kind of stir fry they're making?
I didn't notice it. So there were a lot of comments though about the weather.
The weather is beautiful.
Edwina says, I think she was in California and it was 89 degrees there.
Wow, that's getting hot.
Yeah, Lance said that it was rainy where he was. Several people chimed in and said that it was 70 degrees where they were.
Wow, that's beautiful. I think that is like the perfect temperature. When you get around 70, 75, somewhere in there, it's just perfect. Get a little breeze going, and we have had...
And we are at 75 and sunny right now.
Yeah, we got to go out. Maybe we'll eat dinner out on the porch, David. I also I thought about going to a place, a fairly local creamery to get cream, because I cannot find cream in the stores. You people who live in Pinehurst and Southern Pines, y'all need to stop, because every time I go, I've been to 3 different Harris Teeters like over the past 4 weeks or 5 weeks, whatever, and they're always out of cream. So y'all need to stop taking my cream. That I've got to find a cow or a creamery or something. But this place I plan to go to, they have sold, their last Facebook post was that they had sold out. They had sold out of their cream, their cheese, their butter. They had, get this, they had whole milk and they had ice cream. Really, like I can't use that. So anyway, I would love to find a local. When I say local, I'll drive an hour or so to get something. If you guys know of a place in North Carolina near Southern Pines or Pinehurst, let me know if you're not like keeping it all for yourselves. So my dinner's almost done. I've turned it down. Oops, sorry. I've turned it down just a little bit. I want to simmer some of that liquid out. I've talked before about how the flavor is in that pot liquor. I don't know if you've ever heard that term or not, that all this liquid is pot liquor, and it has to simmer down. That's where all my flavor is, and it will simmer down. And as it simmers, this is gonna be so good, just luscious. But anyway, so David's writing stuff down. What am I supposed to know now? Sarah's doing the chicken stir fry, and it's 71. That sounds amazing. Beverly did a lobster stir fry. I've never done that. Tell me what's in that. A lobster stir fry. That just sounds amazing. And Elizabeth, her chicken stir fry last night, I think I saw some pictures of that. And Lanley, you spelled that? Lance. David, yeah, Lance did a chicken stir fry. I actually think I may have seen that one too.
Bonnie, leftover beef stir fry.
Ooh, leftover beef, that's always good too. And it is stir fry night tonight, right? Wasn't it supposed to be the cold salad last night? Did I screw up my days?
I thought cold salad was last night.
I thought you know what? I missed the cold salad. Maybe we'll make that up and we'll do a bonus day or something since we missed that day. But the cold salad, I was really excited to show you guys what I'd come up with. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'll get out the salsa and the cheese and the cream cheese, and we'll call the kids down for dinner. And I think, how's it smell to you, David?
It smells good from over here.
And I did put salt in there, didn't I? Did I put salt? Maybe a quarter. I think I put salt. If not, they can put salt on at the table. I was talking, not paying attention. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed.
It says stir fry is tonight. Cold salad was last night.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, because now I see people put, I wanted to mention this. the cold salad. Some of you posted your pictures of the cold salad and you put olives in it. I've never done that. You know who doesn't like olives? But I think that's a great idea. Like chop up just some black olives, it adds a little fat, little flavor, or chop up some green olives. I'm gonna try that because it's like a pickle taste, the green olives, like a pickle taste, but not a little smoky pickle taste. But I'm gonna try that because David doesn't eat cold salads. Usually they're for me. One more time with the ingredients, somebody's asking, and y'all, this is not really a recipe. You saw me just like dumping. So I started with about 2 tablespoons of ghee. And then I put in about a medium, maybe part of a medium onion. The top was cut off. And I just sliced that up in fairly large pieces. I'm gonna turn this off because my veggies are gonna get mushy. And then I put in about half of a green bell pepper and I cut it in pieces that resembled the onion. And like that, not too long, maybe, I don't know, an inch or so. And then I put, for the seasonings, I put in about a tablespoon, a little less than a tablespoon of paprika, about 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, and about that same amount of chili powder. And then I just put no garlic, none whatsoever. I would never put a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic in there because David doesn't like garlic. So a 1/2 teaspoon would be way too much. And then I put some salt in there. And then I cooked that around. And then when it started to cook down and the seasonings were getting a little dry, I added some chicken stock to it, not more than a couple tablespoons, just eyeball it. I'm looking for the lid. Just eyeball the chicken stock. And Jonathan, you can get something to drink, you're fine.
Can I get ice?
Yeah, you can get ice. And then I added the cooked pulled pork that I got at Dollar General, and that was it. That's all. Super simple. And I just stirred it around. Now the meat has picked up some of the juices, some of the spices, and that's it. And I'll serve it with, like I said, I think we have some avocado. We've got some shredded cheese. We've got, I'm seeing it on the table. Sour cream, salsa. We've got some salsa. David heard me say that. He didn't hear me say all the other things, but he heard about the salsa.
I heard garlic.
He says he heard garlic. No, there was no garlic, remember? I was telling him what not to do. Like, don't put the garlic. Right? Do you like garlic, Jonathan?
Yep.
Yeah, Jonathan likes garlic. David's been eating garlic. He doesn't even know it. Other questions? David's looking at the camera.
No, not. Wes and I have decided to get more keto, or Wes and whoever.
Okay.
But no, that's about it.
That's about it. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. I would love your feedback about the 10 days of keto together. I've enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun with this. It has been a lot of work, but maybe we'll do like, I don't know, X days of, or X weeks. We won't do something every single day, but we'll do X weeks of keto summer. How's that? And what do you think, David? 4 weeks of keto summer, 5 weeks of keto summer? I don't know. What does that sound like?
I don't know, but 5 o'clock or 5:30 is refrigerator time.
Oh, what do you mean it's refrigerator time?
For Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, Jonathan gets hungry. He's 13. He has completely hollow legs. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Let us know what you think and let us know where you're having. #keto together. We'll take pictures and post too. Take care.